Every fourth resident of a modern metropolis is fundamentally incapable of enduring silence. This is not a pathology. This is the standard operating mode of the entire system. People who fear peace more than noise have become the primary biomass for the chaos industry. They are the perfect, self-replenishing fuel that keeps the machine running at full capacity. Among them, there is a particularly toxic and predictable subspecies, those who deliberately set fire to every relationship the exact moment it begins to feel stable, calm, and genuinely good. Stability feels like slow suffocation to them. Peace feels like a coffin lid closing. They need chaos the way normal people need air. Without constant drama, they begin to rot from the inside. Their brain has been thoroughly conditioned by years of cortisol, artificial deadlines, urban noise, financial pressure, and the relentless grind of concrete life. It no longer recognizes calm as safety. It registers calm as danger. When the external world finally shuts up, the internal void starts screaming louder than any alarm. In that silence, they are forced to face what they actually are: an empty, hollow construction held together by habits, consumption patterns, and defensive reflexes. To escape this unbearable confrontation with their own nothingness, they do the only thing they have ever learned how to do. They launch a preemptive strike against their own happiness. They don't sit down and make a conscious plan. They don't need to. The sabotage happens automatically, with cold, practiced, almost professional precision. Petty complaints appear out of nowhere. Fake jealousy is manufactured on demand. Old, half-forgotten grievances are dug up and sharpened into fresh weapons. They turn their partner into an enemy because only when there is conflict do they feel alive. A fight delivers a quick, dirty hit of adrenaline and dopamine, a cheap, reliable substitute for real intimacy. A controlled catastrophe is always psychologically cheaper than waiting for the unpredictable one. By burning the bridge themselves, they at least keep the matches in their own hands. They become the god of their own wreckage. That pathetic illusion of control is the only comfort they have left in this world. They inject venom into the relationship in small, precise, almost artistic doses. They deploy tiny slights like landmines timed to explode during moments of tenderness. They create drama where none existed. They excavate ancient resentments and use them as fresh ammunition. This is emotional arson disguised as self-regulation. They need to turn a partner into a target just to feel something. They mistake the rush of a fight for the presence of a soul. They would rather be hated for something they did than risk being abandoned for who they actually are. They would rather be the villain than risk being seen as insufficient. This is not passion. This is not complexity. This is cowardice wearing the mask of personality. They destroy things before things can destroy them. They leave before they can be left. They would rather rule over ruins than share something they cannot fully control. They would rather be the one who ends it than the one who gets ended. The economics of this pathology are brutally efficient and coldly beautiful. A lonely, emotionally eviscerated individual is the ideal consumer. They spend on average 40% more than people in stable relationships. They try to fill the growing hole in their chest with clothes, gadgets, experiences, and endless new beginnings that cost 3 months of rent in their gray concrete box. Every breakup becomes a profitable event, a fresh start that requires a new wardrobe, new furniture, new subscriptions, and a whole new aesthetic to sell to themselves. The market doesn't want you healed. It wants you in a permanent state of recovery, forever chasing the next illusion that will finally make you feel whole. Your trauma is not a tragedy. It is a line item in a corporate budget. Dating apps are perfectly engineered slaughterhouses for this cycle. They are not built to help you find someone. They are built to keep you swiping forever. If you actually find stable connection, the platform loses a paying customer. So the algorithm keeps you in a permanent state of hunger and comparison. Every new person is temporary. Every new person is replaceable. We have turned human relationships into at-will contracts. If the user experience drops even slightly, we delete the person and wait for the next update. We no longer repair anything. We only replace. We treat people like software. Outdated versions get deleted without remorse. Even the self-improvement industry feeds on this sickness with shameless efficiency. It sells you expensive retreats, mindfulness apps, and self-love courses as decorative bandages for a compound fracture of the soul. You are told that loneliness is actually independence, and that building higher walls around yourself makes you evolved. In reality, you are just constructing a cleaner, more expensive tomb and calling it freedom. Personal boundaries have become psychological barricades behind which no one actually lives. You are sold the idea that being alone is power, while in truth you are slowly dying inside a perfectly curated prison of your own making. In 20 years, this will no longer be individual dysfunction. It will be the default architecture of society. Cities will finish their transformation into vast warehouses of isolated concrete cells. High-density storage units for emotionally bankrupt people who have forgotten how to be with another human being for longer than a few months. The only things truly shared will be Wi-Fi signals and a quiet mutual resentment of everyone else. Sincerity will be considered a junk asset. It lowers your market value and makes you vulnerable. The only reliable tool left will be the detonator you keep in your pocket, always ready to turn any bridge into ash before someone can walk across it toward you. We have reached the point where total isolation is marketed as the ultimate form of security. We would rather rule a sterile desert we control than share a garden we cannot dominate. We have optimized ourselves for survival in a war that ended long ago, and now we sit alone in the ashes, wondering why the world feels so cold, while we are still holding the burning torch. True luxury today is not wealth or status. It is the increasingly rare ability to sit in complete silence for 1 week without destroying everything around you, or reaching for a screen to prove you still exist. The future belongs to the ghosts who wander through neon-lit streets, warming their hands at the fires of the bridges they burn themselves. They are masters of self-protection who have successfully eliminated every possibility of being hurt by eliminating every possibility of being alive. They optimized for safety. They achieved emptiness instead. They mastered survival. They forgot how to live. And in the end, when the last bridge is burned and the last match is used up, they will sit alone in the dark, surrounded by the ashes of everything they destroyed, still wondering why no one